Hello everyone, this is Impulse, and welcome back to the HermitCraft server. How are you guys doing today? I'm doing great. I'm excited, guys. I am finally back here on the server, playing Minecraft, recording episodes. If you stuck around long enough, at the end of last episode, I mentioned that I was going to be moving houses, and I've moved houses. I'm in my new house. You probably hear a little bit of an echo coming through the microphone because I haven't got soundproofing yet in the new office I've set up, and not quite there yet. I'm still kind of getting settled in. I gotta say, I thought I could just move in. It would take a couple days to grab all my stuff. I was wrong. It took me over a week before I could even get set up. I mean, I literally was without a PC for like 3 or 4 days, which is insane for me. I don't like being disconnected like that, and I apologize that it's taken this long for me to get a video out to you guys. But we're gonna do some things today. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have a lot of time to put into this episode, unfortunately, because it has been a long time, and I want to get a video out to you guys, and I don't want another week to go by. But we got a lot of little things to do, and I got some progress to show you. I did make some progress before I started moving. I just started chipping away at some of the things you guys told me in the comments that you didn't like. You didn't like those end rods in the corner, so I put beacons in. Of course, beacons obviously look better than end rods. So I went to my Wither Skull farm, or it's not an automated one. You guys know that's manual. I slaughtered me some skellies and got some heads and killed a few withers just in the bedrock formation thingy, and we got some beacons here. So the beacons now are kind of going up the corners, and it's also nice because people know where iBooks is from far away. They can see the 4 beacons and they'll know. And also kind of put this white glass frame around this whole thing, and I think it looks really good. We stuck with the white panes here. And then, of course I added a sign here because people do still stop by the store to get their mending books. So I said, please pardon the dust. iBooks is under construction. Because, yeah, we still are. And then I also made it so, of course, they can come in here and get their books if they still want them. So let's see if anybody stopped by in the past week. And looks like we've had some business. We've sold 9 books. And, of course, half of that's going to have to go to Cub. So let's split that up. I'm going to take the larger share. No, I don't care. I'll give them the 23. It's fine. But look, we still have at least one chest, right? Almost, and a little bit more, which is good. I also changed the stairway here. I thought it would be cool because it was just going off to the right. I thought it'd be cool if we go off to the left too, and then just kind of intersect here in the middle and then walk them down. And then I also changed out the floor here. This is cyan stained clay. I do believe. Yeah, cyan. It always throws me off. I mean, it's gray, right? But you color the hardened clay with cyan, and that's what it looks like. So we have black beams inside here, and it was going up, and I thought, it'd be cool. And I don't know if somebody suggested this in the comments, or it might have been my daughter, actually. She's been watching my YouTube videos lately. She's 10 years old, and she started watching my videos, which is weird. I don't know if I've ever had one of my kids actually watch my videos, but she said, Dad, I think it would look cool if you put like your yellow eye in here, like in this column, in addition to that one that's floating, which I really do like. So I want to do that. I want to give it a go. We're going to see what it looks like. We'll hop over here. We'll take out this white. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it or how far up it's going to go, but we'll go up to, I might have to just stack a little bit just to get there, just to get these cleared out. But we'll maybe put, let's see. Now we're going to stick with this pattern. 1, 2, 3, fill it in. 4, 5, and so if there's 5, we're what, 10 high? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 high. So of that 9, we're going to take 5 of those. So let's go down 2, put a yellow one in, and then a black one, and then 3 yellows. 1, 2, 3, and then we can fill in the bottom, and that should hopefully be about right. Hopefully that will do. So let's go outside, take a look, and see what we think. Oh man, I don't know. I'm indifferent right now. Oh, look at that. It kind of does this 3-tone right here. You get a little bit of yellow beam extra as it kind of transitions back through the black or something. That's interesting. And then black, and then back to white because I got white on top. Interesting. It's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool. What do you guys think? I'm gonna leave Should I just leave the one? It feels weird leaving just the one. I'm going to fill in all 4. Let me make a cut. I'm going to fill in all 4, and then we'll see what all 4 look like. Be right back. Okay, so there we go. I got all 4 in. I knew you guys wouldn't want to watch me just break glass and place it for a couple minutes. So there we go. We got all 4 corners with the little floating glass eyes in the beacon going, and it kind of changes the color of the beacon light up there too, which is cool. So you guys do your thing. You do your thing right now where you tell me, what did you like better? The ones before that was just kind of white beams going up through a white pillar in the corner there on the inside, or the logo there, my Impulse Eye logo. This shop is now completely branded. Everybody knows whose shop it is. But you guys tell me in the comments, which one did you prefer? Maybe I can add one of those poll things. I know that YouTube came out with a poll, and maybe I'll do that. If not, if you don't see a poll like in the description or wherever they put it, just go ahead and write in the comments which one you liked better, the eye logo or the white beam. And that's that. So, all right, guys, let me talk to you for a minute. I want to give you the down low on what's going on here. So I mentioned I've been really busy lately getting settled into my new house, and obviously that delayed the video. For those of you that didn't know, right, if you were waiting around all week going, Impulse, where's your videos at? And you were wondering, chances are you're not following me on Twitter. Because those of you that do follow me on Twitter would have known, that I tweeted out, hey guys, this is what's going on. I'm struggling right now to even set up my office because of the move, and videos are delayed and blah, 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 right? So make sure you follow me on Twitter. If you are on Twitter, it's just at ImpulseSV, and then that way you guys can get updates when life changes happen, right? And it delays my videos, or just, I tweet out a lot of stuff like I'm streaming, and that kind of stuff. So anyway, follow me on Twitter. But here's the deal. This really did set me back, this move, and I wanted to spend a good amount of time on this room. Right, I wanted to make it look really nice. I want to have really nice little booths or aisles for the books, right? We talked about trying to get them inside the bookshelf, and I actually had quite a few ideas tweeted to me, and that kind of thing. And I'm going through those ideas, guys. I haven't picked exactly what I want to do because I'm on the fence. I'm waffling about this decision. I'm not sure if I want to do something with redstone or just something simple. So I'm really trying to decide, but I do have an idea of what I want to do. And I'm sorry, I'm just running around in circles like a maniac here. I do have an idea of what I want to do for the back walls, and it's going to look really good, but it is going to take me some time to really get it figured out. I'm going to have to spend some time in creative, which I don't have at the moment. So instead of working on the iBooks store today, I'm going to put it on hold for next episode, which shouldn't take me as long to get out because now I'm back in business. I'm back up and running, and we'll do a good job of it. So instead today, what I want to do is there's a lot of little things that have been bugging me. Just really bugging me because they've been broken. And, oh, by the way, I should mention this. I'm going back. I'm sorry, I'm going back. But you guys can see it on my screen at the very top left. We are on 1.10 now, which is awesome because I had talked about these guys. You probably already spotted it as I was running around aimlessly. We got bone blocks in here, and so I'm kind of looking at them and going, so I got some bone blocks, obviously. But I'm looking at them and I'm going, I don't know. I was really excited about them. But up next to the quartz, I still like quartz better. I got problems. I prefer the blocks that are difficult to get, I guess. I don't know. But it is suitable, I guess. It works. They're connected textures and whatnot. I'm running Faithful texture pack. I'll put a link in the description because I have the 1.10 one now where it just has everything, and I think it's working okay. So I'll put a link to that in the description. But I don't know. What do you guys think on this? I'm going to more questions to you. I'm not sure about the bone blocks. I kind of put these going across so they look a little bit better than when they're running down. They kind of have this little column look to them. I like them, but I think I still like quartz better. I can't go wild with quartz. It takes me too much time to get, or too many diamonds to buy if I want to buy from Biffa. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. I am excited about bone blocks. I don't know if I'm ready to make a sacrifice because I do think quartz still looks better. So I'll have to think about that a little bit more because I wanted to deck the inside of that place out with a lot of white. And the bone blocks, they have a little bit of a off-white to them, where the quartz is like a definite white. So I got to make that decision because it's a big one. It's a big decision. It's going to cost me hours to gather quartz if I go that route. On the other hand, you know, I have a bone farm. I have my skelly farm. And so I want to show you this too. It's pretty funny. We'll make our way over here, and while I was out, because I was offline basically, not on the server for over a week, and you know, we rolled out 1.10, and all the other hermits, of course, they were gonna obviously go for the. You saw there was a magma block cube, I think that's what they're called, in the back in there in the brown district, and so I log on the server and I'm like, okay, let's get some of these bone blocks going. Let me go to my little bone collection, and it's down to this. Actually, when I got on, there was just a few stacks left. I'm like, okay, obviously the other hermits have been helping themselves, right? I was like, well, okay, if that's cool. If that's the case, though, I wonder if I've got any donations. Check this out, guys. Somebody left me 36 diamonds, and I believe it's from these guys. Look at this. Thanks for all the bones and cacti. Love the log fellas. So they actually, I think they're the ones that probably left these diamonds. I'm going to add this to, these are mine. I'll give Cub his 23, and I'm going to keep my 58 here. But the log fellas came by, they grabbed some bones, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But it did make me realize that I need to worry about my bone farm, because it's got a little bit of a problem. That's not the problem. Plenty of XP. I like that. Let's get that on our pick. There we go. Nice and healed up. Wow. As you can see, XP is not an issue for me either. I got 153 levels. The problem I've been having with this is if I leave myself AFK for too long, one thing happens. You can see this dog's tail is down quite a bit. The skellies that wear thorns, they will eventually kill my dogs if I don't like feed them, you know, enough food. And I've just been using like rotten flesh because it's pretty cheap. And then another problem is every once in a while, these dogs they just give up on killing skellies. They just decide, you know what, I'm tired, I'm not killing them anymore. And we actually get a buildup of skellies in here. And I'm talking hundreds if I leave myself online for too long. And that just isn't good for the server. Everybody's going to experience lag at that point, and it's not good. So today, guys, we're going to fix some things. I want to do something about that. I want to make sure that never happens, so I can leave myself AFK here, get my fishing done, get them bones collecting, because, you know, we're in 1.10 now, and we're going to want some more of these bone blocks. And obviously, they're a hot commodity because people are already stopping by and taking them. I know I probably should charge for bones at this point, but I don't think I will. I think I'll still make them free, donations only type thing. I like that. I like contributing to the server in a healthy way like that. So anyway, we're going to fix this up so that this works properly and we will never have to worry about those skellies building up. Also, we're having some issues. I noticed when I logged on, all the sugarcane was grown, all the pumpkins were grown. I look over, I can see the melon farm's not working. The slime blocks are not where they're supposed to be. So chunk unloading has become a problem, and I think I figured out why. So I'll show you that here in a little bit. But first I'm going to make a cut right now. I'm going to gather some things that I think we're going to need to get the skelly farm to be 100% AFK-able and reliable. And we'll get that going, because I want to be able to AFK for bones all night long, and you know, however long I feel like, without my dogs dying and that sort of thing. So, all right, guys, let me get some things. I'll be right back. All right, so I've given it a little bit of thought on how I want to do this, and I think the best thing that I can do that's going to make it so my dogs don't die and we make sure all the skellies die is to actually hit them with splash potions of instant health, or splash potion of healing here. We got instant health 2 on this, and as you can see, we'll see if I can get right there. You can see it kills the skelly, and his tail went up just a little bit, and so that's gonna work. So we need to decide how often we're gonna actually do the splash potion there. And then of course it's gonna have to be filled up with a lot of them. And I'm thinking what we do is we actually utilize a pressure plate, a weighted pressure plate. So here I have the heavy weighted pressure plate. I also have a light weighted pressure plate. That's hard to say, pressure plate. And so there's a chart on the wiki that actually shows how many entities are needed to create signal. And so we're going to want to basically carry the signal out to a dispenser, and then the dispenser would actually shoot the potion. So right now with a heavy pressure plate, in order for it to get to signal length 3, it says when you get to 21 entities, it would do that. So that would mean 21 skellies would be collected, and I think at that point it's safe to say that the dogs aren't doing their job. If they let 21 skellies build up in there, then they're obviously not paying attention, and we should just go ahead, clear it out with a health potion, and also just kind of heal up any dogs. And so what I'll do is I'm gonna face a dispenser down right here, and or maybe right here would be fine. And it's gonna hit the dogs and be close enough to get the skellies and should kill them automatically. And then we'll just have to fill it up with splash potions of instant health. And that should do the trick. That should definitely do the trick. And in order to make this work, so let's go ahead and do some testing here. I did want to show you this because I was trying to test this thing out and I was all confused because I was like, okay, well if it's 21, if I throw a stack on there, that should make it. And look, it doesn't. And that's because this is still being counted as one stack because items bunch up, I guess. So if you take, if I took 21 different ones or 21 unique ones, I think if I go to 11 with the heavy one, then we're gonna get signal strength higher than 1. So let's just take 11 unique items here. I'm gonna have to back up a little bit. You can see I made like a little basket so I could toss these things in, and I'm still missing terribly. We'll go up a little bit higher. And if we just throw in a bunch of different things in our inventory so that they can't stack up, then we should, there it goes, get to signal length of 2 here. And so with skellies, I think each one's going to be counted individually because they can't really stack up. So I don't think we're going to have that same problem. But basically the goal is to get enough entities on here to reach the dispenser, and that will activate the potion. And then I've already gone to the trouble of getting a hopper minecart inside the block. So it's just a matter of getting a pressure plate on top of it, and then we should be good. So let's tear this down, and we'll go ahead and see if we can set this up. It's a pretty tight squeeze in there, but I think we can get the job done. Yeah, the gold pressure plate basically, it's every entity is a signal strength. So you get one Skeleton, a signal strength of 1, and I think that's gonna happen too often that we just get, the dogs just have a little bit of a lapse in getting them killed, and then it would just go off, and I think we'd be restocking too much. So I'm not gonna go with the gold pressure plate in this case, but let's go ahead and clear this out so that we can try to get the pressure plate on there. And those blocks obviously got sucked up right away, and that's the good thing about having that hopper minecart. It's just going to suck up the items right away. So when they all get killed at once with the potions, it should suck up all the items, and then the signal will reset basically. So there we go, we got that on. And let's see, we've got a signal strength of 1 already coming out of the block. That's good, and not 2, so that's good. So it's not going to set it off, obviously with just 1 there. And we'll just carry the signal up. So I think what we can do, I actually needed those slabs. Get some back here. I think we can just walk this guy up just like that. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, signal strength of 4 before it gets into this block. And that means we need to get 31 skellies built up before it goes off, according to the chart that's on the wiki. So all right, let's see if we can get this job done. This is gonna be the hard part, trying to get this guy in upside down. There we go. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Okay, so that should do it. I don't know how I'm gonna test this thing because I can't force my dogs to stop killing these guys. I'm trying to sit them down, but they're in the minecarts. But it does happen every once in a while, so I'm just gonna have to AFK and trust this thing's gonna work okay. But let's do this also. Let's go ahead and put in a hopper. I'm gonna need a chest. There's one. I was kind of hoping to have another one somewhere, but I'm gonna speak properly first. I'm gonna go ahead and put a chest on top of the hopper, fill it up with those splash potions. I think I have some ingredients here that I need to make that happen. I got a couple brewing stands. It's all manual right now. Could do with a little micro brewery system right now, but that's okay. I'll get enough going, I'll get enough in the system, and then basically just have to wait around and see how well it works. But I think that's gonna work. I think that's gonna work. We're gonna definitely take care of all the skellies and heal the dogs every once in a while, which will be good. So alright guys, let me get those potions going, and then we'll move on to the next mini project for today. Alright, went ahead and got this filled up. Looks like I've got plenty to go around for a while here. So I'm not sure, if I spend a night AFKing, if it would go through all of these or not. I'm going to find out. and I'll just have to let you know next episode the outcome of that little experiment. But I think we are good to go here, and these dogs are actually doing a pretty good job keeping up. So I don't know what changed, but they are happy to take care of these guys for me. Maybe it's because I'm moving around, but I think maybe once I go fishing here, they might they might stop moving because I'm not moving. I'm just standing in one spot or something. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know why they lose interest after a while, but this little mechanism we put in place should take care of that. So all right, guys, I also mentioned to you that I'm a little worried about the deal that fires off these farms. I came back online after a week and they were completely just not executing. It wasn't firing at all. And so I went back to the back here, and what I found was there was both sides of the hopper timer was on. So we had no items in this hopper at all. You can see they're moving now, but there was no items in here, yet the comparator was giving off a signal here. And so it just kind of stopped the whole mechanism. And so I was thinking about it and thinking about what could cause that. And I was thinking, you know what, chunk unloading could be a problem. And if we look at this, you can kind of see that we have, where is it at? I always see chunk. It's on the left-hand side of the screen, about in the middle of all that debug data. And it says chunk, and it says 15, 14, 10 in -9, 3, 61. Now watch that. As we kind of walk across the timer here, look at that. Right there goes from -90 to -89. That means that we're actually crossing a chunk boundary right here on this, in the middle of this hopper timer, which is not good. So let's say, for instance, this thing's about to fire and somebody's walking, they're loading chunks and they walk away, and this chunk right here unloads right as it's firing, and that's kind of why I've been getting these weird ghost piston heads and things like that. So I think what we need to do is actually figure out a way to move this entire hopper timer over. And it's going to be pretty difficult because I have a lot going on here. This is firing out of here, and I got to set off the pulse limiter here, so we get it down to just a 2 tick on here, and then that sends it up to get the sugarcane to activate, and then I think we also steal that signal on this side. So I'm gonna have to just figure out, okay, how can I move this into one solid chunk? And I think we're gonna have to actually move it back some. So let's just go ahead and do a little bit of digging here, and we'll have to move this hopper timer just over, and hopefully we can find a way to make it still work. So that's gonna be the tricky part. Let's just make ourselves enough space here that I know there won't be a problem. And I'm thinking maybe what we'll do, and there you see it fire off right now. Maybe what we'll do, and I'll have to check and make sure we're not, having a chunk problem going this way. Let's do that real quick. So if we walk in this direction now, we have -89, 361, and we stay in 61. It'd be that last number I would expect to change if we crossed a chunk border going that direction. So I think we're good. As long as we move it kind of on, from here over, and we don't cross this line right here, I think we're going to be good. And that way, the worst thing that could happen is a signal that's being carried across, and I think, oh my gosh, we're going to have to get this whole piece here. Otherwise, we might cause even more problems. But we'll have to move it over quite a bit. We'll see. Okay, so if we take this repeater here, move it to the back of this side, I think that would work. So basically, we'd have the 2 tick here, and then the pulse limiter would go here. And we'll just take that away. Uh-oh, what did I do? Oh, my pick is too strong with this sandstone. We will get, what happened to that? I didn't get it. Oh, it's freaking out now. It's freaking out. We better we better take this out real quick. There we go. And we will put that piston here, and then that block on top. Let's do this. Let's change it to the stone brick. And then now what we can do is actually carry that signal into it that way. And we had another repeater, I believe, or was it just straight from the comparator here? We had into a block. Do we need that? Can we just go straight into it? Yeah, we do. We need the repeater to have a strong signal here to power the piston, and then that will shorten it. Okay, so then I'm going to kind of go away from the sandstone blocks for this so that I know it's part of the mechanism and not part of just the looks here. and grab all this back because I'm going to need it. And I think there was another, there we go, there's another pulse limiter there on this side that we're going to have to recreate. So let's see if we can get this going now. We have a comparator, so let's rebuild this hopper timer, and there'll be the 2 hoppers there that we need to put in between the comparators, so we'll just do that right now. Hopefully I picked them up. Okay, and let's get those going into each other. And then we need the pistons, and they will be right there and there, because there's going to be redstone dust behind them. We can get that back. We don't need that anymore. So the redstone dot goes right there, and that will power that. And then we just need a redstone block in between. And then we'll go ahead. What items did we have in here? Just all these red hardened clay, I think, was what was in there. So that should allow that to happen. So that's working there just fine. Now I mentioned we got to be careful what we're crossing here, because we go -90, 89. So here's where the problem occurs, right here. So whatever we do here, we need to make sure it's not a problem with chunk unloading. And what did we do here? So I think what we could do is just steal this signal, and that way there's no mechanism, there's no mechanics going on across the border. So if we steal that and then basically make that our pulse limiter right here, I think we'll be okay, because we're not crossing any boundaries here with anything important. So that should do it, and then we'll carry that signal out of that. Again, make it a 2-tick, and now we can actually carry this pulse along. So let's see here. I'm going to fill this back in because it looks bad. And we'll just carry the signal up and around. And I think we might have to throw in another repeater here, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. See, yeah, we don't quite make it, but oh, we can steal some from this side because it's just going into here. And yeah, I think we got plenty there. So we'll just put this where we need it. So again, we'll just make sure we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Just to be safe, we'll cut it 1 shorter than we really needed to. And then make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, plenty. So that should do it. Let's see here. I think it's probably about time that goes off. Maybe. Not quite. That's got to empty all the way. So let's just help it out a little bit. Let's just grab some of these blocks, put them in here, and then that should shift back over. So let's see if we get it. Nope, they got to travel back the other way. That was for that other side. All right, we're not going to stand around and wait. But that should fix that. Looking at that chunk border one more time. There's nothing, if this unloads, the worst thing that's going to happen, I think, I don't think anything's really going to happen. I mean, if that keeps signal there, that's in the right chunk. So that's going to unload at the same time the rest of the clock unloads. So I think we should be good. We'll see if that solves the problem there. And we'll go around front and see, just make sure everything's still firing off okay. Obviously the sugar cane is regrowing already. That stuff grows fast. But the pumpkins, you can see, have built up quite a bit. They haven't gone off in a while. So I'm just going to wait around and we'll make sure it happens. All right, there we go. The bottom row only fired. That's not good. That's not good. What has happened? Hey, you get out of there. They're after my villagers. Well, let's go see why that would have occurred. Why did only the bottom layer go off? That is kind of scary. Something's obviously broke there. So we have the signal going into here. It's like maybe we actually needed a higher tick on this one so that the torch, yeah, I think that's the case. I think we actually needed, and I forgot to look at it before we started, I think we need to go 3 on that one. And then for whatever reason, and that doesn't make a lot of sense, I think it's a 1 to 1.9 thing, something to do with the pulse that's going into this torch tower. It used to be okay to just have, I mean, you couldn't have a single tick, but a double tick should have been fine. And that's what we had. Now we have a triple, so that should do. And let's see, do we just help this guy out again? It's almost there, but it needs to all kind of come back. So we'll steal some out of there, and then we'll bring it back as soon as it's done. Let's let that cross back over. All right, and then we'll help this get back in here quicker, and we'll see if we can catch it. Oop, there it goes. There it went, the flash. And we got to go check and see if more pumpkins fell. That's the only way to know, because we missed it. We executed it too quick. All right, yeah, it looks like it did. And we have a whole bunch of pumpkins coming up through there, so that was it. That was the problem. So you can see all the pumpkins. I mean, these two grew back already, which is nice. They're growing nice and fast, but there they go. All right, that's gonna do it. Yes, we fixed that problem. And I can't wait to see how many bones I can collect now by AFKing here at this skelly farm and not having to worry about my dogs as much anymore, or build up of skellies. It's gonna hurt the server and make everybody mad at me for overloading the server with entities. So anyway, I do want to say thank you guys so much. Thank you for continuing to support me by hitting that like button and watching these episodes, even though I've had a little bit of a lack of content obviously lately because of everything going on in my life. You guys are sticking with me through that, and I appreciate that. And I think now that I moved in, things should be getting back on track. We should be able to start rolling out episodes weekly at least, if not more, and I'm excited. I'm excited to get going again, get refocused on getting you guys out content. So again, I really do appreciate it, guys. Thanks for hitting that like button, and if you if you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to hit it again. Hit on this one, and if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe before you go. And with that said, I'll see you guys again next time. Have a good one, everyone.